All this time and you are still full of affection. You both met at Wingate High School. Lionel Kaplan on the band stool. Found each other, started dating. Off to college for a new life, how elating. Brooklyn College, lots of classes. 1950s, rosy glasses. Bobby Boxer, Ronnie Abbott. Stay together and it got to be a habit. Flashing forward to the family. Big bro Eric, little sis Jamie. Moved from Brooklyn, dirty, noisy, to a place where clean air's nothing like New Jersey. You're now fixtures in the Berkshires. What a place to spend your best years. You've got culture, you've got friends true, and we're gathered here today to say we love you. And another 1963 song. We love you, yeah, yeah, yeah. We love you, yeah, yeah, yeah. We love you, yeah, 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 yeah. Woo! Okay, now I have to follow that with a little story. Now, Jamie and I decided, because you guys were going to, of course, steal the show with your wonderful vows for each other, we were not going to actually prepare speeches. We were just going to talk off and, we're going to wing it. But the thing that I wanted to share with everyone are one story about each of you that really I think of when I think about what amazing parents, what amazing people you both are. So first, Mom. I was maybe 8 years old, and we were in my grandparents' place in Queens, and my grandfather started saying a few things that were, shall we say, racist. And my mom, who's very typically just steady as she goes, very quickly I saw the anger build. And the one time in my life at that time that I really saw my mom just lose it was at that moment at her father. And I remember you saying, "Dad, you are not going to say that kind of stuff about people in front of my kids." And I was so proud of you. I was so proud of you. And I just thought, wow, that she is my hero. Okay, now my dad. It was actually maybe a year or two before then. We lived in New York City, and I forget exactly why, but my dad and I were going to catch a subway train. And when we were down in that subway station, we noticed that right in front of us, this man jumped down into the tracks and said, "I'm going to end it all." And then he said, "I'm going to end it all unless you give me money." And so my dad was faced with this situation, do I get down into a dangerous situation? I've got my son here, I don't know this person, what's going on? And very calmly, he said, come on up. And I remember you actually went down onto the tracks and helped him get up off of the tracks. And then went upstairs to a local coffee shop and got him some coffee, had a conversation, and I don't remember the substance of it, but I remember it kind of ended very pleasantly, very sweetly. And I thought, that is my hero. So I think you've heard from a lot of your close friends tonight and family how much we love you and respect you and look up to you. I think everyone here could tell different stories about your compassion, your generosity, your thinking of others before yourselves, your caring about your community. And that is something that I can tell you for sure you have passed on to us, and it's something that we also hold in our hearts and just love you. So congratulations on your 50th. We love you.
It is so hard to figure out what to say about you because you are just such amazing human beings, both as individuals and as a couple. And I think all of us have said that to you tonight. But I just want to say to you, when it was probably about 43 years ago, about this time of year, cold night, and in Brooklyn, parents probably didn't have a lot of money at the time, and it was cold, and a clever way for them to actually get warm was to
It was in March.
it was in March? Oh, see, I was actually thinking it could be an anniversary type of an event, as I was thinking about it this week. And, but as a result of that cold night, I became
Here she is.
one of the luckiest people in this world, I have to tell you. And many of you have been quoting numbers. I've known them my entire life. 42 years, if you want to count my time in your belly, probably even longer. And I completely lucked out. You know, it's funny, my husband and my former lovely nanny, who has become part of the family and adores you, they called me a freak of nature. Because of the way my body recovered from having babies. And I have to tell you, I think of myself now as a freak of nature because I came into the world and was blessed with you. That's the true freak of nature-ness that I experience. So I just wanted to thank all of you for being here tonight to celebrate these two amazing people. And wanted to just tell you what we did here, that if you haven't already participated, thanks to all of you who have, and I really hope that you'll take a minute to just fill out one of these cards. What we did was have people say a word or a phrase for Elie equals, Myrna equals, and Elie and Myrna equals. And I'll just read for a moment something really clever that your son wrote.
No, it's not clever.
So Elie equals dad, Myrna equals mom, Elie and Myrna equals my wonderful parents. And I can tell you that, and I can say that
He's going to do
there
another.
are a lot more special things in this pile than that one. His creativity, I think, ran out after the song.
Is this a roast or a toast?
But let me just say that this is really special for me to read, and I really hope that it is for you too. And I'll just give you a sampling. So you can probably guess who wrote this one, Best Grandparents Ever. That was an Elie and Myrna together. This is Elie, a believer, Myrna, a creator. Elie and Myrna, we think you are wonderful and special together and apart. Elie equals heart, Myrna equals soul, Elie and Myrna equals our inspiration. Elie equals full of light, Myrna equals soulful, Elie and Myrna equals light soul. And it goes on because of who you are. And enjoy. So if you haven't already done this, please do it. Take a minute. The cards are up there. The pens are floating around. I'm sorry if you can't find one, but please try. And also, please take a picture with my husband so that we can also have pictures of you for them to remember as they have their next 50 years together and think about all of you. So, thank you.
I'm going to say one last thing that I forgot to mention before, because, you know, we were winging it. And that is, I think some of what this also does is talk about team. And of course, tonight happens to be a special night for my favorite team. And in fact, I don't know if anyone noticed, but these are my new Michigan socks. But no, like every great team, you have people who play different roles. And I was actually thinking about a band, because you two play music together, I think, with your relationship. And I was thinking about one of my favorite bands of all time, The Police. And when I think about the roles that you each play in your relationship together, I think about Sting, right here, the lead singer, the wordy one. And I think about Stuart Copeland on the drums, just keeping the beat, making sure things move forward, mixing it up every now and then, keeping it driving forward. Together, you guys are rock stars, and just, we can't say enough about you. So I do want to transition to if anyone else would like to say some words here. I know that there's one gentleman here who expressed an interest in saying a few things.
It's not just me only, though. Whoever wants to talk is allowed. But I was told that this was a toast and not a roast, so it's going to be quick. This was...
If it were a roast, it'd be longer.
It would be, yes.
We have a zillion stories.
This isn't about Wingate High School, because I wasn't there. But when Jan and I came to town in '77, we obviously didn't know anybody, and we went to somebody's house for, break the fast after Yom Kippur. And we met Alden then, and Myrna, and that really started these guys becoming our family over the last 35 years. So I was thinking, to try and be brief, how I've influenced you. And to try and make it brief, I basically turned Elie into a crazy Wolverine. And it is really kind of funny and ironic that they timed their party tonight. Because this is like the night. It's on the TiVo, don't worry about it. But hopefully you'll get an amazing gift later tonight when the blue beats the orange man. And as far as how I influenced Myrna, I would say that I, after a long period of time, convinced Myrna that carob and chocolate are not the same. She has pretty much got me to eat everything except for Brussels sprouts. And we've shared so many happy times together, and some sad times too. But I would say that I've had the opportunity to watch these guys raise their kids to be amazing kids, and also take care of their parents in an amazing fashion. And through that all, I think Jan and I have both realized that their love has, if anything, grown over the last 35 years that we've known them. So I would just say that from people who feel like your family, Jan and myself, this is just a great night, and wish you many, many more.
Wow.
Hello, my name is Marlene, and I am Myrna's oldest friend. I think it's 57 years.
7th grade.
So I'm not going to tell you stories about how we used to go to the Dodgers game. We'd sneak behind, I think it was a PAL line.
Yeah.
So I won't talk about that. Or an embarrassment to Myrna. She won a spelling bee. Was it the state or the country? Or what was it?
Universe.
Maybe Brooklyn.
Well, Myrna was very smart.
She was.
So,
Long time ago.
and still is. But on a more serious note, I know a lot of people who have been divorced, including myself. And when I think about a couple who have been successful in their marriage, you are the first couple that come to mind. Yes. And I treasure you for that. And for being my friends.
Do you want to tell what your prediction, what you told me when I was going out?
Oh, sorry. When they were going out, I told Myrna that I didn't think he was the right one. But she didn't listen.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
Shall we dance?
Thank you. Want to say?
Well, I'm going to have to wing it also, but the funniest thing that I can think about when I'm talking about winging it is that I made some notes on my iPhone, and my biggest fear about being up here right now is that I'll lose my place on my iPhone. I won't be able to find it again. But getting past that, I think it's important that I speak because I was there 50 years ago. My husband was there 50 years ago. We were there at the wedding 50 years ago, and it's such a wonderful, beautiful thing to be here and see the two of you 50 years later with Jamie and Eric and their families, and to think about all those years that we've shared together. And the big thing, when I started to think, okay, think about the bullet points, the things that make you excited about Elie and Myrna, and I could go on, but the beautiful thing of the two of you together is that I always see you as a team. I always see you as loving each other so much. I always see you as respecting each other so much and hearing each other. And I think that the key to success and happiness and all that love that you talked about earlier today, or that Maria talked about earlier today, is to be able to hear what your partner wants and needs, and to be able to respect and love each other. And Myrna, you have always remembered to say to me, so how are you? And I've never forgotten that, because it's so nice to hear. And you've always been so wonderful. And Myrna went with me for pots and pans and taught me how to cook. And Elie, you've been such a wonderful brother. You're always a phone call away. I always know I can count on the two of you forever. And I really remember how much in love you both always have been. And it's a beautiful thing to stand here and be your sister and to have Myrna in my life and to know that here we are all those years later and you still love each other so much. And the future looks so bright. So I'm glad you're here with me and we can say it together. We wish you so much of everything good because you deserve it.
Happy anniversary.
I love you too, so much.
I don't want to let this guy go.
No, of course not.